Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Arcanum of Steamworks and Magick Obscura, Blind. I'm here in the city of Stillwater, trying to find a way into the elven city of Quintarra. I haven't explored all of the town, so let me continue. There's still a couple of houses this way. Elf noble. Oh, so I believe this must be the noble, the elf that's living in town that they told me about. Mirth, I believe. Excuse me, sir. Just what exactly do you think you are doing in my house? Please excuse the intrusion, but I was hoping you could help me. Hope is a wonderful thing, but what makes you think I'd actually help the likes of you? Well, perhaps I could help you. What? I don't need your help. Are you mad? I'm in no need of assistance, nor did I ask for any. We've started on the wrong foot. Could we start over? I'd recommend you leave as quickly as possible. Good day to you, but... You again. You better have a good reason for disturbing me again. I was told you might know where Quintarra is located. Quintarra? You see Quintarra? Yes, that's what I said. Do you know where it is? It's in the forest. Even a fool knows that. Where in the forest? In the trees, cracking a slight smile. Please, it's urgent that I find Quintarra. Why is it so important that you find Quintarra, if you don't mind me asking? No, I don't mind that you ask at all. So, why is it important? Ha! I guess I can turn it back on him, because he was giving me those sorts of mathematician's answers, right? That were technically correct. Where is it? In the forest. Where exactly? In the trees. So, I can make the same happen to him, because he asked me if I minded that he asked, and I said no, and then I'm going to let him wait a bit, and when he gets irritated, I'm going to say, I said that I don't mind you asking, but I didn't say I'm going to tell you, right? So let him wait. Well, let him wait. Well, are you going to tell me or not? I said I didn't mind you asking, not that I would tell you. Ha, very good. A man after my own heart. He laughs. Quintarra, yes, I know where it is. Can you tell me where is it located? Elves just don't go revealing the information at the drop of a hat, but I can sympathize with your plight. I'll show you where Quintarra lies, but first you must prove your worth. And how would I go about doing that? I'm not quite sure you'd be up for the task. This is the rite of passage for young elves, a cultural tradition, very old and very difficult. He smiles widely. I can do it, just tell me what I need to do. You must bring me the pelt of the mystical Stillwater Giant. Only then will I entrust you with the location of the mother city. The Stillwater Giant, what can you tell me about it? It's an ancient mystical creature from the time before the Age of Legends, a fearsome beast reputed to have magical powers. And where may I find this Stillwater Giant? I recommend you speak with Xavier Hoppington. He's the local expert on the Stillwater Giant. And what can you tell me of him? Okay, he already said that. Well, let's continue. I wasn't here, so let's visit this house as well. And what does a dwarf want with me? That was very unmannerly. If you can't even deal with that, what are you doing? Traipsing about? Far from home, you fool. Now either state your business or leave my house. Fine, could I ask your name? I am Gildor Nightwalk. Who are you? I am Hargrim Stonehand. Well, what is it, Hargrim Stonehand? Anything happens hereabouts? If you're looking for a good blade, there's no better man to buy it from than Richard Leeks, the town blacksmith. He's a master swordsmith. Okay. Do you have any work for me? He looks you over, assessing your capabilities. Work, eh? I do not think you're up for the task I would have for you to do. It is no simple task, and it will require great stealth to complete. You don't have the look of a thief about you. You're correct. My skills do not lie in that area. Then giving you this particular task would most likely kill you, something I am quite sure you would not appreciate. I'm sorry, but I have no work for you. Goodbye. Wait, tell me of the task. Let me judge my capabilities myself. I am going to tell you a story. The tale will give you greater insight into the task you are going to attempt, so please be patient and listen. Okay, I am listening. As a youth, I was pressed into service by a group of travelers. They were a rowdy, barbarous lot, seeking to gain great wealth and reputation while adventuring throughout the land. I found my place among them, for at times, stealth was called for, and this was my greatest ability. As time progressed, I proved to them that I was no mere impressed servant, and I became a valued member of the group. We adventured together for several years, following old tales and discovering lost treasures. It was a rich and wild time in my life. He gets lost in thoughts for a moment. One fateful day we were lazing about, recovering from our last adventure. We had just cleared out a cavern full of lizard men that had been terrorizing the local community. Deep in the back of the cave, we have discovered an unmarked chest, sealed tight. When we collected our fee from the local magistrate, we conveniently failed to mention the chest. It took Nightfire, a half-breed elven member of the troop, nearly 2 days to spring the lock and open the chest. Since Nightfire was an expert with the lock, there was much anticipation and speculation done over what the supposed content of the box would be. Inside the chest, we were disappointed to find only a few coins, several interesting baubles and a book. As I was the only literate member, I was given the book to review. Here, I still have the book. Why don't you reread it for yourself? Tell me when you're finished, and I will continue. Okay, I will. Let's take a look at the book. Tanon Rotbringer's Journal. One of my sons, Callan, had wandered off into the woods to play. I set out to find him, but as he had been gone most of the day, he was often one to wander, but not normally for this length of time. I tracked him deep into the woods, farther than I or anyone I know had ever ventured before. As I moved deeper into the unknown, I came into the area where the hairs on the back of my neck began to stand on end. The air seemed to cool, and the sounds of the forest ceased to exist. Yet Callan's tracks continues, and I pressed onward, calling out to him. And there I saw it, a clearing, silent and haunted. Scattered throughout the clearing were several large stones, positioned as if to have meaning. I believe they had arcane writings carved into them, but I could not discern them from my distance. In the centers of the stones stood an altar, and upon that altar was the largest ruby I had ever beheld. It was several moments before I could take my eyes from it, so mesmerizing was the jewel. It was then that I noticed Callan, not far off to the side. As I watched, he began to run towards the altar. It appeared he was intent on gaining the ruby. I shouted for him to wait, but he paid me no heed. Before I could stop him, Callan passed by the first marked stone, and as he did so, a most unnatural beast burst forth from the ground. He cried out in terror and turned to flee, but the horror was upon him. The beast killed him before he even had taken a step back towards me, a look of absolute terror frozen to his face. I stood powerless, frozen in fear at the apparition and the macabre scene before me. Oh horror! I dared not move towards the beast. Instead, I ran from the most accursed place as fast as my feet could carry me. I was forced to leave my precious Callan where he lay, for I never found the courage to return. I warned the surrounding farmers of the horror in the woods. All children were forbidden from venturing far from their home from that day forward. I can only pray that the beasts are tied to the wicked place and will never be able to let loose upon us. It has been years since that dreadful day. Many have forgotten what happened that day in the woods, yet I still mourn the loss of my beloved Callan, and I have never been able to remove the vision of those hideous creatures from my mind. To this day it haunts my sleep. I am old, and soon shall I die. I leave this record as a warning to anyone who might venture deep into the haunted woods. Beware, let no other souls be consumed by the beasts of the jewel. Tanon Rotbringer. Okay, so he wants me to steal the ruby, right? I guess, because he said the task requires great stealth. Why are you annoying me again? I have finished the book. Fascinating. Please continue. Ah, yes, where was I? Oh yes, you have just finished reading the book. We quickly reviewed the map drawn inside to determine our distance from the ruby. It was several days' travel from our encampment. Fools that we were, we pulled out at daybreak in search of the gem. As we neared the locale, it was just as the book described. The hairs on our necks raised and the forest sound ceased. You could feel the apprehension in the air. Then we came upon the clearing and the ruby. It was amazing. Never have I beheld a more beautiful thing. We were all mesmerized, dreaming of the pleasure we could enjoy once in possession of such treasure. Two of our troop suddenly ran forward to grab the jewel, and all others save me followed. For I never join in battle, my strength not lying in combat. Wait, I hollered, remember the beast? But it was too late. As two men passed the first stone, a hideous creature emerged from the depths. My comrades drew their weapons, but they were clearly outmatched. Oh my. In horror I stood there. As the fighting moved about, more beasts materialized to join the fray. I counted 7 beasts that dreadful day, one for each of the strange stones that filled the clearing. The death cries of my comrades were quickly silenced, and rather than turning on me, as I feared they would, the creatures disappeared back into the depths as the last body fell. Continue. Cautiously I approached the stones, yet dare not pass their mark. As I observed the morbid scene that lay before me, I noticed that there was a warning carved upon each stone. It read, "The great ruby of Kaluru is found. Heed this warning ere you move around. He who walks without a sound shall pass the death beneath the ground." Oh, so I guess they died because he said he was the only one that was literate, right? So they couldn't read the warning? Such irony. A sickness grew in me, for I knew, had my comrades only waited, they would have still been alive, for I had the necessary skill to obtain the ruby. But in the aftermath, as terror shook my bones, I was too shaken from what I had just witnessed, and I lacked the confidence to complete the task. And so you left? I fled from the scene. I wandered aimlessly for a time, before making Stillwater my home. I had never left again. I fear my adventuring days have come to an end. Yet, as the author of the book says, the jewel and the beast still haunt my sleep. So you never returned? I never did. Yet I still desire the great ruby of Kaluru, and as you have probably surmised, I want you to retrieve the jewel for me. If you can do this deed, I will pay you 1500 coin. A large sum, but I believe the risk demands such a price. What say you? Will you do this task for me? I will retrieve it for you, Gildor. Very good. Here, let me see your map. I will show you the location. I will leave immediately. Thank you. Okay, so that's yet another thing for me to do. I guess I'm not going to sneak to get it, because obviously I don't have the necessary skill. I will just have to hope that I'm strong enough to actually defeat the beasts. Now, I do believe there's yet another home this way. There's home this way, and there is also yet another this way. So that's the 3 I have to visit before I have explored the whole town. Aye, good day to you, sir. Who are you? Stanley Xavier Hoppington, renowned cryptozoologist at your service. Cryptozoologist? What's that? I do happen to know that already. Cryptozoology is a study of cryptids, which are creatures that are, that are not proven to exist, such as, for example, Yetis or Sasquatch or something. Those are like half legendary creatures, but there is, there are supposedly contemporary records of them being seen, but there is no concrete proof. So it's a bit of a quack science, really, because, if there's no proof, then it's pretty much fairy tales. But some people take it rather seriously, and obviously in Arcanum it's a little bit different because magic exists, so it kind of shifts your suspension of disbelief compared to the regular world. But still, cryptozoologist? What's that? A cryptozoologist is one who studies creatures too elusive to be caught, or even have their existence verified. In my case, I happen to be an expert on the Gigantopithecus arcanus, most commonly known as the Stillwater Giant. The Stillwater Giant? Oh, frick, I have seen the skin of the giant in museum in Tarant. Yes, I have seen that as well. Quite amusing, actually. It is obviously fraudulent, sewn together from moth-eaten old bear pelts with some fake antlers glued to its head for good measure. I suspected as much. What can you tell me of the real giant? The Stillwater Giant, Gigantopithecus arcanus, is an extremely primitive species of a giant, thought to be extinct for over 25,000 years. It was a rather strange offshoot of the Gigantopithecus genus. Strange? In what way? Well, besides the fact that it's extremely hirsute for a giant, it had large horns, but the most fascinating aspect of the Gigantopithecus arcanus was its ability to shapeshift. Hirsute? I do believe hirsute just means it had a lot of hair, but I'm going to ask just to be sure. What does it mean? Forgive me, I was speaking to a layman. Hirsute simply means that he had inordinate amounts of hair. Do you understand now? Yes, thank you for clarifying. I need to capture it. Well, then it is fortuitous for us both that you have sought me out. Most people feel that capturing the Stillwater Giant would be an impossibility, but I have designed a way. I have tracked it to its lair, and I have been searching for a big game hunter to implement my plan. Tell me, what do I need to do? Excellent. I have constructed a special trap. Here it is. Use it to trap the giant. He hands you a small trap. This trap is ridiculously small. How can I catch a giant with it? This is the beauty of the plan. We take advantage of the giant's unique shapeshifting abilities. It takes an enormous amount of food to feed a creature of such a more enormous size, so it changes to a relatively small size to conserve its energy whenever it is in the safety of its lair. So I just sneak up on it and use the trap? That sounds easy. Well, it will be easy as long as the creature is unaware of your presence. That's why an experienced hunter is needed for this task, for if it smells you, hears you, or even senses your presence, it will immediately shift to its full size and attack ferociously. How will I know it's the creature if it is in its small size? Yeah, right, because it might be just a random critter, right? Like a random, I don't know, rat or something. It doesn't have to be the giant. How will I tell the difference? It bears a strong resemblance to a rabbit, of all things. Its only distinguishing characteristic to differentiate from your run-of-the-mill rabbit is its blue color. So what will keep it from changing to its full size after it's captured? There is a slight magical field within the trap that will retard the creature's ability to transform itself. And how can I get close enough to trap it without startling it? Here is a scent that you could use to mask your smell from it. I suggest that you take off any armor that you are wearing and use this before approaching. You will be more silent without the armor, and if you do startle it, there's a small choice. It will not see you as a threat. Where do I find it? Ah, that's the easy part of your task. I have built this house as near to its lair as I dare. Simply take the path behind, out the back, until it ends in a cave entrance. The giant resides somewhere deep within the labyrinth of tunnels. Okay. To be honest, it all sounds like a hoax to me, because come on, if the giant lived so close to the village for all those years, supposedly its lair is just behind this guy's home, then how come they have never proved its existence beyond a reasonable doubt for such a long time? And also, how come it hasn't eaten them all? I kind of call bullshit on this whole story. I think it's a publicity stunt by this guy who's a cryptozoologist, because he wants to basically he wants to justify his own existence, as it were, and his own faculty. So I do believe this is a fake, although I guess it is blue, but you could paint a regular bunny blue. I think it would work, but just in case, let's try following the protocol. So use the Stillwater Giant scent. You feel no effect, and then use the trap on it. Well, Stillwater trap full, and I have a blue bunny, so there is that. But I do feel this is a hoax, right? Because there's no way. First of all, it's already kind of suspicious, the whole story he told me about it being able to change shapes into a bunny, of all things. Because it doesn't make sense as a defense mechanism that much, in my opinion, because it would be very vulnerable in its lair. If anything, it should shapeshift into something like a hedgehog, or even better, a subterranean creature, so that it could sleep below the ground as it rests. But also, the most bullshitty part is the part how it lived so close to this guy's house. Like, it reeks of bullshit to me. But still. What can I do for you? I've captured the giant, sir. Show him the trapped giant. Yes, I see. He examines the giant. Excellent. Now we need authentication. Authentication? I thought you said it was it. This is it. We simply need authentication of the scientific establishment in Tarant to legitimize it. We couldn't even hope to publish our findings without their backing. Bring it to Dr. Tristan Fenwick of the Tarant Zoological Society. He is a genius, and I'm sure he will help us. Sure. I will go to see Dr. Fenwick then. I wonder what the people in Tarant will have to say. Like, if this guy knows it's a fake, then why would he send it for authentication? He knows it's going to fail. So maybe he's just crazy. Maybe he has just convinced himself that it really is the giant. I wonder what the elf will have to say about that. Yes? I captured the giant. Take a look. Show him the cage. What are you taking me for, a simpleton? You're going to have to do better than that. As if I'd fall for this trickery. But this is a giant. It's in its rabbit form right now. This even sounds ridiculous. Look, friend. You know what needs to be done. Enough of this tomfoolery. I mean, I enjoy a good ribbing as much as the next elf, but this is ridiculous. Bring me the pelt, and I will give you the information you desire. But... and the dyed blue rabbit skin won't pass either. Okay. So yeah, I do believe this is bullshit, right? It has all the markings of being bullshit. There is one more home somewhere around here. And then also one deep in the north. Huh. Don't you know I can smell your presence, foolish one? Greetings, sir. Might I ask who you are? Ah, so it's disfigured blind hermit. Eyes cut out. So it's Adkin Chambers. You actually thought you were capable of catching me unaware, didn't you? Who sent you? I mean you no harm. Could you tell me your name? Names. What import are they? Merely a tool for our enemies to utilize to destroy us. What is the name that will be your own undoing? So he's pretty paranoid, I guess, which is perhaps a result of his maiming, because I can hardly even imagine how horrible it must be to lose your sight after you've lived years with it, because humans are very visual creatures. I would say sight is our main sense, so if you were born fully sighted and then become blind, then it's heaps more difficult for you to adapt than it would be for a person that has been born blind. So I can totally get how this guy became very paranoid, because basically his world disappeared. You know, his main source of information about the world has been cut off. In fact, when I was younger, I liked to pretend, well, not pretend I was blind necessarily, but I like to attempt to do things with my eyes closed, and I remember it as being very hard, so I kind of totally get that. I am known as Harrow in Stonehand. May I ask yours? And why have you come to bother an old blind man? Did he send you to finish me off? Did he? Ah, so he thinks I was sent by Garrick Stout to kill him. I do not know of what you speak. No one sent me. He has never found me, you know, and he never will. Not me, the Master of Dodge is too crafty for the likes of Stout. Never. So you're Adkin Chambers, the Dodge Master? Who told you that? What do you know? I thought you knew nothing, and now you have my name. Liar. I am still the best, you shall not kill me. I am seeking you but for training, not other purpose. Liar. He sent you to finish me off, didn't he? It wasn't enough that he stole Druella, was it? Or that he blinded me and left me for dead? No, sir. I only come seeking your wisdom as a trainer. You expect me to believe that you have sought an old, blind man to complete your master dodge training? What a fool you must think me to be. It's true, sir. There's no other reason aside from training. Sarcastically, how shall I ascertain your level of wisdom in the art of dodge? If you were truly versed, you would be able to anticipate this. He suddenly launches his arm forward to strike you. What the... Dodge. You succeed at dodging his blow. I see you have reached expert status in your skill. I told you I was only seeking training. Ha, fine. I shall, quote-unquote, believe you. If master training is truly what you seek, I have a task you must complete before I disclose my secrets to you. What must I do to prove my skill? Death. I want death. Kill Sir Garrick Stout, the master of melee. There. Prove he is not your master, and then I shall reward you with training. As it happens, I killed that arrogant fool already. His mouth drops in disbelief. What do you say? Garrick Stout is dead? Yes. What proof do you have? He was the master of melee. He couldn't have been so easily defeated. I say that he is dead. You might doubt me at my own peril. At your own peril, or do not impugn my honor, sir. He accepts this as true. As there are gods in Arcanum, I knew someday I would have retribution. Vengeance is mine at last. Ha 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 ha. Adkin, shall we discuss training? Yes, my son. Anything you wish for ridding the world of this wild creature. In killing Stout, you have proven your capability in our art. Allow me to bestow upon you the title of Dodge Master. Thank you. Thank you so much. And what of my beloved Druella? She is in Dernholm. She was unsure if you still loved her. My love for her has never faltered. I lived at once. Thank you for all that you have done for us. You are an honorable warrior. May the gods bless you on your journey. Goodbye. Goodbye, but actually not quite. Because I have brought you a gift from Lady Druella. Lady Druella, you have seen her. What has she sent? A potion. I've been told it will restore your sight. Restore my sight? How did she come across such a thing? Is this some kind of tomfoolery? Garrick attempted to blackmail her into marriage with it. That evil, cunning beast. Was there no end to the atrocities he was capable of? You have done well to rid the world of his presence. What are you waiting for? Give me the potion. Here, drink it down. I can see, gods be praised. I had never heard of such a magic before. That monster must have paid dearly for this draught. Oh, bless you. Please, what of Druella? She's in Dernholm. She was unsure if you still loved her. Okay, so he repeats himself now. My love for her never faltered. May the gods bless you on your journey. Goodbye. Goodbye indeed. Okay, so I've gained a level. I think I'm going to put a point in strength to be able to equip Harrow, the ancient axe of the thingamajig of the Wheel Clan, of the Thunderstones. And will he benefit from? I guess he's not equipping it. I will keep it for some other character maybe. So what is its damage? 4 to 18, speed 11. It says damage 0. That has to be a bug, right? Maybe it's calculated on the spot, because it says adjusted for race and alignment, and Logger Thunderstone, when he gave me the axe, he said that it strikes especially true in the hands of a righteous dwarf, and I just so happen to be a righteous dwarf, so there is that. So I will keep it for now. I will see how it behaves in combat. Maybe it's just a bug, in the display. How much dexterity do I need? 18. Okay. Surely it has to be a good weapon. It was rather complicated to get it, because I had to convince Logger Thunderstone to return to his throne. And obviously it's supposedly also specifically tailored towards a good dwarf character, so surely it has to have some hidden advantages, maybe. And I do believe this is where the wizard lives, right? Because it's the last place that I have on my map. There's a lot of blood in his house. There's a chest, but nothing in it. Was he killed? I guess I was also told that there's an ogre that lives around here, so maybe I should look for him. Where am I even going? That's like, I'm not following any particular trail. I'm just looking for, because they said the ogre lives somewhere around here on the outskirts of town, right? And it's my only lead pretty much, because aha, okay, there's a cave, so maybe that's it. Okay, it's full of bodies, which is not reassuring. Help! Get me out of here! That old ogre has gotten it in his mind to eat me. Are you Cyrus the Wizard? Richard Leaks sent me to find you. Richard, bless that man. I'll enchant everything that man owns if you get me out of here. I was captured by Drog Blacktooth, an old ogre that's lived in these parts for years. He has never bothered me before, but I guess he's got hungry. He said he was going out for something to spice the soup. Please, Get me out of here. I'll do my best. Give me a moment to survey the situation. Please, get me out of here. The ogre will be back at any moment. Okay, can I open this? Let me save. Lockpicking failed. Oh, but the ogre is back, so maybe I can persuade him to... I guess I can't persuade him to do anything, because he just attacked me on the spot. But that means I should be able to loot the key off of him? Yeah, right. Thank the stars! I was going to be wizard stew for all the drug if you hadn't come along. I'm going to run back to the town. Good day to you, sir. Alright, good day to you, Cyrus. Okay. Quality broadsword. I can't pick that up. I am going to talk with the smith anyway. Might as well sell that to him. How much space does it need? Okay, that's getting a little ridiculous. Actually, it might be a decent enough weapon for him. 5 to 18, 6 to 18, speed 13. What speed is it for him? It's 8 for the axe. It's 8 for this as well. So I guess this is simply better for him specifically. Okay. So I'm ready to go back. And as the world map is available here, I can just do this and travel to the town center, which is a bit quicker. Hello. Hello, have you a moment? Okay, first I want to... Oh, actually, it's probably better to return the quest first, because I imagine his reaction is going to improve. So, I found Cyrus. He'd been waylaid by the most disagreeable ogre. Really? You must mean old Drog Blacktooth. He's been living up in the hills for a long time, but most of the time he's got teeth. All teeth, but no bite. Looks like his stomach has gotten the best of him this time. Well done, friend. Here's the blade I promised you. He hands it to you. Good day to you. Okay, and now we can trade. And oh, he's not going to buy it. Interesting and kind of annoying. But I guess I'm going to Tarant anyway. So let's give this to him for now. And pick up the Stillwater blade.
How can I help you?
I'm going to Tarant anyway to solve the quest, so I might as well sell my things while I'm there. Did one of them pick it up? Yes. Let's take a look at it and compare it to what Virgil is. Oh, Virgil has no weapon. Summon animal. Okay, so it's magical. It would be best for him, I imagine, because the rest of us have technological aptitude, so it wouldn't work that well for us. I think I'm ready to go to Tarant to try and figure out whether this is the real Stillwater Giant, which I somehow doubt, but I have no other choice but to check that. Okay. It looks like it's the end for you. No one escapes the Molochian hand. You will be sorry you ever found me, fool. Die. Okay, the axe is definitely...
Impressive attack.
Yeah, that's definitely an upgrade. I remember I had to hit them like 5 times with the sword to kill them. And it seems with Harrow it's enough to hit once. So that's a massive upgrade, all things considered. And that's pretty great. Okay, so I want to travel to the university. Although, actually, I will travel to the commercial district first. Wait, is this not where I want it to be? Okay, it actually kind of isn't. Because I wanted to go to the blacksmith to sell all of the things, but I guess this is not it. So... Well, let's go to the university. I need to go there anyway. Zoological Society, great. That's exactly where I need to go. And Dr. Tristan Fenwick. Yes? I need to speak with you about the Stillwater Giant. The Stillwater Giant? What about it? Please tell me it's not another crackpot theory. The only crackpot theories worth their salt are mine. And don't you forget it. What is the name of what in the name of all the gods is this smell? It smells like bear urine. I don't know, but I've captured the giant. Show him the trap. Oh, I just love you practical jokers. A blue rabbit. Huh, nice paintwork though. Dr. Hoppington has examined it and assures me it is the giant. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's a hoax. Hoppington? He has gone completely loon. Poor sod, convinced that the giant is real. All his evidence is all based on badly reconstructed skeleton, comprised of giant bones mixed with ape and whoever knows what other odds and ends. He was never too bright. He says that you are a genius. Ha 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 ha, that proves he's insane. Calling me a genius, imagine that. If I were a genius, I'd be making some real coin instead of working here. Well, hoax or not, I need to find the pelt of one somehow. The only place you'll be finding something that obviously fraudulent is over at H.T. Parnell's museum. I think they have actually slapped together a pelt of the quote-unquote Stillwater Giant on display. Thank you for the advice. Good day. Okay, so I guess I have to buy the fake from the museum and then presumably present it as the real thing. Conveniently, it's rather nearby. But it's closed for the night, I guess, which is reasonable. Actually, I might be able to use one of the fate points to force good reaction on Gar, the orc. Well, quote-unquote orc, because he's actually a human. He just looks like an orc.
Sure, I'll do it right away.
So that he can join me. Because I have still have one spot in my party, and he has voice acting, which makes me think that he's probably an important character. And I can always throw out Sogmead Mug, because obviously he's not that important or that interesting. He has never said anything interesting, in fact, and he has no voice acting. H.T. Parnell, speak your pace and be off. Oh, speak your piece and be off. I beg your pardon, may I ask you a few questions? I'd rather not. I do not like those of your type frequenting my establishment, even if you do have coin to spend. What, other than his pocketbook, can a man be judged by? Well done, sir. Your skating wit has wounded me. It seems I have misjudged you. What is your pleasure? Will you allow me a few more questions? Of course. I want to purchase the pelt of the Stillwater Giant. Now hold on a minute there, my good man. The Stillwater Giant is the first big exhibit I have ever displayed. It is still one of my most cherished possessions. I couldn't part with it for less than 2,000 coins. 2,000 coins? This is a ridiculously high amount, sir. That is the going price. An object this rare is practically priceless. 2,000 coin is a steal. Okay, I have no other option to bargain for it. And I'm not going to steal it. That would be more than rude. So I guess I have to accept it. I accept. Splendid. Here is the key to the Stillwater Giant's display case. Is there anything else? Not exactly, not at the moment. So let's take this. Okay. And I will try with the fate point and talking with Gar, because I do have a couple of them. I do not have much to use them at, because I'm not using magic, for example. Might as well try that, because last time, as you can see,
Greetings, sir.
if I say that I managed to procure your freedom,
I simply dislike you too much to consider following you anywhere.
yeah, his reaction is 13 dislike.
Will there be anything else?
You told me you would join me.
And I still will, if your situation reverts to what it was when you asked me. Until then, I will be waiting here.
So, let me actually do that. As I said, I don't...
I'll
Frick.
do it right away.
I didn't want to do that. I was scared for a second. I asked them to attack. I don't have much to use them on anyway, and I'm accumulating them, so let's try how this works at the very least. Let's save, and then say force good reaction, and then
Greetings, sir.
I managed to procure your freedom.
I'm ready to follow you, sir.
Okay, I will offer him his freedom if he wants it, because obviously if I forced him to follow me, that would be slavery. I just thought he would like it. So if he will say that he would like to follow me, then of course he's welcome to do so, but I'm not going to force him. You don't need to follow me. You are a free man. I release you.
Goodbye, sir. I thank you for returning my freedom to me.
Oh, so I've gotten the fate point back. Can he join me now, though?
Goodbye, sir. I thank you for returning my freedom to me.
Okay, I guess he doesn't want to, which I guess I feel better about it. As I said, it would be horrible if I forced him to follow me. So if he doesn't want to do that, then surely it's better for him to simply leave. Now, there was a couple of shops over here. Tarant Telegraph, Quality Armor. Okay, I need to pause for a second, so be right back. Okay, I'm back. So where was I? I wanted to find... Well, the best case would be a weaponsmith, but I guess I can try a blacksmith as well. I have a few weapons to sell. But I don't know if an armor is going to buy them. Oh. Actually, first of all... Yeah, I guess he has a bunch of weapons as well. So, presumably he should. But I need to... change this. Okay, he's not buying that. presumably because it's a technological item. So let's try the gunsmith. There's also an inventor's shop, which perhaps would be even more suitable. Yeah, he doesn't want that. I'm going to keep the balanced sword. It's a pretty good weapon, so if I get another follower, it would be useful to give it to them. Telegraph. General store. I guess I can try this as well. Wait. Stop. Castaway rescued from an island. I haven't read that issue. Hello, sir. I would like to buy a newspaper. I would like to buy today's newspaper. Could you spare 3 coins? Sure. I am done. You've been most gracious. And now... where is the paper, though? Did one of my other followers pick it up? So it's not on the ground, from what I can see. Or is it? I guess it won't hurt if I buy another one. Buy a newspaper, today's ones. Yes, okay. And Tarant newspaper. Castaway rescued from an island. Lost family found at last. Almost 6 years ago, the ill-fated ship, Hadrian's Pride, sailed from Caladon with passengers and cargo on board and bound for Tarant. She was never to arrive at her destination, and it is only by divine providence that we now know her fate. The good Captain Edward Teach of the trade ship the Gypsy Shadow out of Ashbury was by coincidence sailing almost the same course as the Hadrian's Pride when she was set upon by a powerful storm and blown far south of her planned course. The captain and his crew, being the first-rate sailors that they are, did not lose their bearings during the storm. When the tempers had passed, they sighted an island that was not to be found on any of their charts. They decided to put ashore in an effort to locate the source of some fresh water, as the seas during the storm had contaminated a number of their barrels. As they made their approach to the island, they noticed movement on the beach when they had been intended to disembark. Much to their surprise, what, or better to say whom, they found was John Borlindas and his family, late of Ashbury. They recounted of their story to the captain of the Gypsy Shadow in great detail about how they had been bound for home on Hadrian's Pride, and how they had planned to disembark in Tarant and take the train to their home in Ashbury. Mr. Borlindas told the sympathetic captain of the storm that blew them to the island, and of the many adventures that had befallen them in the time since being forced to take up residence upon their newfound home. Captain Teach, being of generous nature, offered Mr. Borlindas passage to Tarant for him and his family. Mr. Borlindas gracefully consented, and then joyfully arrived in Ashbury to this Tuesday past. Okay, that wasn't as interesting. I thought it might be about the return of the king of Cumbria from the Isle of Despair, but I guess he was not a castaway. He was literally an exile. Okay, I'll give it to Virgil, as is tradition at this point. Okay, this is the Fashion Palace. I should be able to sell the top hat here. Okay, and this is the general store. Does not want that. But there was also an inventor somewhere around here, right? Or am I mistaken? Could have sworn there was an inventor. Fashion Palace. In one of those shops. Tailor. General store clerk. Okay, I guess he will have to carry it for a bit more. He still has some space left in his inventory, so it's not that big of a deal, I guess. Okay. The boil. Oh, Actually, I remember they attacked me the last time I tried to enter the boil. I wonder if this will happen again. So because if it does, I might be strong enough to actually survive it this time. What is it, dwarf? What do you want? What do you want? Because I didn't explore this area before on account of them attacking me and killing me. It seems a bit empty though. Half-orc thief. I have no time for those of your race. I don't like your attitude. You don't like my attitude? Get out of here before I cut you up for bait. Okay. A human bandit. What is it? I don't want to talk with you. I am busy. Leave me be. I don't want to talk with you. I don't have time for your ilk. What is it you want? Whose house is this? And this is Pollock's house, and he don't like strangers hanging around here. Okay. So it's presumably not best to force my way in. It's presumably some kind of a gang leader or something, because the boil is basically the slums, right? Let's check this other part. There's a tavern. What is it, dwarf? You must be lost. You don't belong here. Oh, and there's some kind of a shop as well. I guess it's a shop. It's a cart. Are you a beggar? What is it, dwarf? Let us trade. Maybe he can buy it. 21 coins for the balanced sword. Let me try and take it from him. 93 coins, sure. It will free up more space. Oh, and he has some steel as well. It's rather expensive, but I have a lot of money. I am going to buy it in case I need to make another balanced sword later on. You know, if my current one breaks or if I get a new party member. No one in here. This is some kind of a sleeping area. Maybe it's a shelter. What is it, you ignorant dwarf? Excuse me, sir, I didn't mean to intrude. Then leave. Okay, whatever. I guess he's not particularly talkative. Half-orc guard. Huh? What do you want? Nothing, apparently. Sorry to have bothered you. Good day. What is it, you ignorant dwarf? This heavily perfumed gnome would appear laughable if not for the scars on his face and the oversized dagger hanging from his belt. And just what precisely do you think he would be doing here? I was going inside. I don't believe this is going to happen. Only the clan Morg is allowed within these walls, and then only a select members at that. Turn your little self around and go back to where you came from. Okay. So I guess on the opposite sides are like the turfs of the opposite gangs or something? I don't know enough about them, or to be honest, anything about them, to even decide whether it's worth to attack them. I would probably wait for some kind of a quest involving them that would explain to me the local situation, but let's check the tavern. It's rather crowded. What do you want there, boy? I've got a few questions, if you don't mind. He looks at you and smirks. Oh, as a matter of fact, I do mind, boy. You've got an idea who are you messing with in here? Being as weak and scrawny as you are, I'm surprised someone ain't already made you into a bloody puddle. He snickers to his friend. Okay, at this point, I feel like I'm strong enough to not have to prostrate myself before random assholes, so I see. Perhaps you'd like to try, you braggart. The man's eyes flare, then he almost smiles. Perhaps you might just have a little sand in you, boy. The boil will teach you right quick as to just how much. I'll give you some free advice. You don't be saying words you don't mean, and don't back down to no one, unless of course you run into Pollock. Thanks for the advice. Can I have a few questions? I don't see why not. Make it quick though. What is it the pub that we're in? This here pub is called Caleb Malloy's. It is the best place in the Boil to get yourself a drink and find out what's new on the street. There's a lot of the clan Morg in here too, but Malloy's is a no man's land. Pollock told us no fighting in here, so we don't start trouble. Who are the clan Morg? Clan Morg? Bunch of weak-spined blokes who live in northern Boyle. Orcs and half-orcs mostly. Their boss goes by the name of Darian Morg, and he lives in the Bentley, fancy building just north of here. Bloody flaming prince hiding behind his nice little house. He spits on the ground. I'd like to get my hands on him. Who is Pollock? Pollock? He's our boss. He gestures to his friends. We are all part of Pollock's gang. Bloody nightmares we are too, eh boys? They all let out a rancher's howl, toasting above their table and spilling out most of their drinks. Pollock's a half-ogre, living down in South Boyle. There are two bosses down here in the Boyle, but Pollock's the one to be afraid of. I see. What is the Boyle? The Boyle? That's where we are, lad. Everything over here on the western side of the Garrelon Bridge. It ain't much to look at, but it is our kingdom, eh, boys? To Pollock's gang. They all bellow various exclamations or expletives, raising their glass in the air. A lot of ale ends up on the floor. I see. If you've got any questions about the Boyle, you should go and talk to Caleb Malloy, the bartender. He's been here a lot longer than most, and he's got scars to prove it. I may do that. A few more questions? How does one get work around here? Well, a bloke's gotta be careful about who he works for here in the Boyle, lad. For example, let's say you were to take a job with Clan Morg. Well, me and my mates, being a part of the Pollock's gang, wouldn't take too kindly to that. You understand my meaning, lad? He pats a thick cudgel strapped to his belt. Yeah, a bloke gotta be a real careful. And if I wanted to join Pollock's gang? You might just be smarter than you look. If you wanna work for Pollock, then I recommend you go and talk to Miranda Tears. She's the rough-looking lass standing there by the bar. You just tell her we sent you over, and she'll decide if you're worth wasting any time on. I see. Okay, so I asked about everything. However, I'm not sure if I want to join with any of the gangs, because I don't know anything about them. And to be honest, I'm not that well predisposed towards gang-related activity anyway, because I have good alignment, and in general I would prefer to stay out of really nasty business. And I suppose, gang work is probably going to be highly illegal and highly violent. But I will talk with all of them anyway. What is it you want? Okay, so this must be Miranda Tears, right? The woman in front of you is tall, strongly built, with a pair of scars running from the corner of each eye to the bottom of her jaw. It makes her look as if she was crying. What do you want? You've got any reason to bother me? Or do you just enjoy rolling the dice with all scratch? If you're inferring that my... Okay, I'm not going to antagonize her because she might attack me. One of your men told me that I could talk with you about a job. They did they? She looks you over. We might have a job for you. You know who you will be working for? Yes, he mentioned a half-ogre named Pollock. Yes, his name is Pollock, and he's not a very understanding ogre, if you get my point. Twin blades flash from beneath her armor. A man makes one mistake with Pollock, and then there's no more mistakes. Are we speaking the same language? Actually, I do not think I want to involve myself in matters such as these. Then crawl away, you dog. You come back here again for no reason, and you'll regret it. I cannot help you, dwarf. Let's try being a hard-ass. It seems to be a part of town where it pays off, because that's what the other guy said, right? You have to look tough and all that. I've killed men for speaking to me in such tones. Okay, I don't want to cross someone like you. It was just a little jest. What can you tell me about the Boil? The Boil is a place for great opportunity for those in the know. You, sir, are a lucky man to have chosen to speak with me as opposed to some of the other lurkers around here. He casts a distressful glare across the bar. What is it you're meaning, sir? We of the clan Moog run the Boil. You would do well to throw in with us. Are you interested? I'm probably not, but I would like to know more. You need to talk with Max over there. He mentions the well-dressed dwarf standing nearby. He's always got a job for those who would want to prove themselves to Clan Moog. I will do that. You must be lost. What is it? What could a dwarf possibly want with me? What in the name of Alberich caused you to think you would talk to me? Speak up, boy. One of your boys told me to come and talk to you about a job. Well, that's different. Looking to join up with Darian Moog's clan, eh? Good choice. Healthy choice, if you get my meaning. It ain't easy. I got an easy job for you, collecting. Yeah, okay, I don't want to join with either of them, to be honest. 'Cause collecting is probably extortion, I would imagine. So I would love to hear about it, but I must be on my way. Then be gone with you, idiot. If you bother me again, it'd best be to join up with the clan, or else. Okay, I will be leaving. Let's talk with the bartender. What? Are you a beggar? What is it? Sir, what have I done to deserve such treatment? I just plain don't like you. That's all I've got to say about it. Let's try playing a tough guy. I'd recommend you rein in your tongue, because as I said, it seems to pay off in this particular part of town. I'd recommend you rein in your tongue, barkeep. Oh well.
Friend, I've been wounded terribly. Quickly! Friend, I've been wounded terribly. Quickly! I need healing.
Okay. I guess I'm not enough of a tough guy to win a fight with all of them, although maybe I could if I entered turn-based. Get on with it, dwarf. What have I done to deserve such treatment? I just plain don't like you. I'm not looking to start trouble. I would just like to speak with you. He rubs his chin, squinting an eye at you. Well, maybe you ain't so bad after all. What is it you need? Could I start by asking who you are? The man before you is thick, barrel-chested, wearing an apron and what looks to be a permanent scowl. He regards you evenly. I'm called Malloy, Caleb Malloy, and this is my pub. Nice to meet you, Caleb. Good to meet you too, lad. He looks around and leans a bit closer. Listen, you're new around here. A man can tell just by looking who knows the Boil and who don't. This ain't a nice place to be visiting, especially when you don't know the lay of the land. What do you mean, the Boil? The Boil? That's what this here stinking neighborhood is called. He laughs, wiping off the bar. Bloody den of thieves, brigands and murderers. A few poor families here and there, mostly just trying to make a living and stay out of the way of the Clan Morg and Pollock's gang. Clan Morg and Pollock's gang, who are they? Pollock's a half-ogre who runs a mishmash of hooligans here in the Boil. Not too organized, mind you, but vicious and cruel. And Clan Morg? Darian Morg's clan is mostly orcs and half-orcs. He plays it a little quieter, but you can't trust him any more than a Bangilian viper. Who's the better gang to work for? Well, that's tough to say, lad. If you got involved with one, the other gang is going to be after your hide. A man needs to be careful about who he works for here in the Boil. Once you decide, there's no going back. I see. A few more questions about the Boil? Are there any shops here in the Boil? There ain't much to buy around here. Or Merlin Bungerton, the halfling, has a wagon set up somewhere around here. He usually got something to sell, and most of it's stolen. I see. Where can a man stay in the Boil? There are not many places for a stranger to lay his head here in the Boil, lad. You might want to try Old Mother Tilly. She's got a shack just to the west of here. Sometimes she'll take in a boarder or two, if she trusts them. I see. More general questions? Is there any work to be had around here? Well, you could talk with some of the boys here in the bar. Of course, that would mean you'd have to make a choice about which gang you wanted to join up with, Morgs or Pollocks, and then you'd have the other gang out to kill you. It gets pretty messy out here, he chuckles to himself. Are there any other alternatives? He looks you over. I've got a job that needs doing. Might be easy or it might get messy. You never know here in the Boil. I'd be interested in hearing about it. I've got a pretty regular shipment of whiskey every week, except lately one of the gangs has been stealing it. Normally I don't get any trouble from them, and neither one is owning up to it, cause they know somebody is getting their skull smashed when I find out who it is. I see. What is it that you need from me? Well, I need someone to go and pick up the whiskey for me. I'm running real low. You go and pick it up and I'll give you 500 gold pieces when you get it back here. What do you think? Okay, that doesn't sound illegal. Unless they are stealing it, but he didn't mention. Sounds good. What do I do? Then the man's name is Biggs. He'll be waiting for you in the middle of the Garillon Bridge at the towers. I'll send the boy over there and tell him to be waiting for you. Watch yourselves, lad. The Boil ain't a place to be getting careless, you hear me? Okay, good day. That sounds like an easy enough job, although I guess he said the the shipments have been disappearing lately, so maybe I get attacked. But still, I should be able to handle it. Move on. Mind your own business. Hey, you're Caleb's boy, right? He told me to be expecting you. I'm Biggs. Yes, I'm here for the whiskey. Yeah, I got it right here. My delivery boys keep getting mugged on their way to Malloy's. Hopefully you'll have better luck. Thank you, Biggs. Hey there, boy. What is it that you think you're doing? I'm picking up some whiskey for Caleb Malloy. Well, that's a problem now, lad. You see, this is my territory, and no one brings any whiskey through Malek Neb's territory without asking me first. I think I'm going to have to take that whiskey away from you, lad. I don't think so, Mr. Neb. You better move on. Okay, I should be able to deal with them, no problem. Okay. Any of them have any messages or something as to who sent them? Nope. Please don't kill me, I did not intend on doing that. So... I don't think I'm going to get involved with any of the gangs here in the Boil. Maybe I'll get a quest involving them at some point and learn more about them, or even better, maybe I'll get a quest to dismantle them. You know, from the law, from the guards, for example. What can I do for you? Hi, have you a moment? Of course. I've picked up the whiskey, Caleb. Here it is. You have? That's grand, lad. Thank you so much for your help. Here's the money. He hands you a handful of gold. You're welcome in Malloy's anytime. Okay, farewell. I think I'm actually done then, for the moment. And incidentally, I also feel like I'm done with this episode, because I think it has been long enough. So... I'm going to save here and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!